God, how to work it out, how to release our energies for God's work. This should be our main concern, isn't it? Went to see Gagangad Maharaj. First of all, so you said, I want to talk to you only. I said, he doesn't want to talk to Sahaja. So he asked me, so you came on the earth, all right, but do you find us all right? Are we capable enough to receive you? I mean, see the questions he asked me. And then he says that, what should we do on this earth to make you comfortable? What is needed to be done? Because all the way you have taken your incarnation. He talked to me like this. I was amazed. Then he told his disciples, now this is the goddess sitting before you. What are you doing? Do her puja. You do my puja. What's the use of doing my puja? Do her puja. Every bit of it. I was amazed at his reaction. That's what we have to understand. That we are today. What's it? Huh?
No, I didn't want the lamp to start smoking. The oil.
Oil? They're all burning all right. No, it's burning all right. It should go on burning.
It's probably running out.
Huh?
It's running out.
Run out. But still they are burning. Do you know how long it has been burning without oil? I've seen it long time back. So, now we come to a point where we understand ourselves from the ridiculous to the sublime point. That we should not oscillate anymore. Let us fix our sublime thoughts one after another. How we climb a mountain, fix one, then another sublime thought. Let some sublime thought come into your mind. Oh, that's such a beautiful thought. All right, fix that. Climb up. Then another sublime thought. You are a source of that. Now another sublime thought. Ah, that's great. Hold on to that. Like that you climb. Through sublimity, sublime. Not degrading thoughts, but immediately if there is some degrading argument or suggestion or some sort of a big argument will start. Everybody sitting there. It's even worse than what I find about these BBC people now discussing on the table. Sometimes it can be very bad. So one has to understand that our priorities are going to be very different from all others. For them, ridiculous is important. For us, sublime is important. If anybody suggests anything like that, you should say, no, that's not sublime. No, we can't have it. We can't talk with it. Just stop it. Let us see ourselves fully competing in achieving sublime within us. You have assets, as I told you, that you are born in this country of Sahaja. You are the heart of the universe, that you are special people to be born here. You had people like William Blake before you. See the vibrations. Did he care for it? Did he talk of anything ridiculous? Did he talk of anything nonsensical? Did he grudge about money? Did he say anything about it? How he stood up and how he said and what he propounded. He wants to create Jerusalem. Do we think like that? We have to create Jerusalem. Then how do we think all these ridiculous things, talking, gossiping, and saying things and not working out through meditation our ascent? I do not know how many more Yogis we are going to get. Because maybe that after this might get only donkeys. Maybe, I can't say. Let us hope we get better people. Let us hope. Whatever you are going to determine the image of the people who are going to come. That's why I wanted to talk today, especially for this purpose, that we have to learn that so much is still to be done. Mother is going away. If I go now, I'll come back, of course, for a short time. But at the most 2 years more. And then what? We have to work hard to come up. These 2 years, we have to all work very hard, especially in the ashrams. I've told you about chastity. That's the first part of it. And there should be absolutely brothers and sisters relationship among yourselves. Like a brother and sister never go and try to please each other, do they? When this thing called flirt, what you call flirting, that do they do? And that should go on in the ashram. And it's very wrong. I think it's very, very wrong to do that. This is an ashram of sages. Sages who have taken their birth after ages. So sages must be worshipped like sages. You cannot dress up like a punk and become a sage. You cannot be like other people. A sage has a face, has an expression, has eyes. His whole gait is different from others. He has confidence as well as compassion. We have to see those images in you. Now, so far, it's all right that we came to Sahaja for our gain. We are here now for the gain of others. We have gained whatever is possible. We don't want to gain anymore. Now, let us give this to others. For that, we have to have an image. We have to dress up in that way. For example, I was the other day telling thee, I don't think it may be too much for you people to believe that, but it's a fact that is the brain that is upset here. Heart is, of course, is frozen, but brain is responsible. And I told them that every Saturday, you must rub your head with so much of oil. Nicely. Every Saturday. Sunday, wash it off. But on the whole, the system that existed before this, about 20 years back, all the Englishmen used to have very nice combed hair. I mean, they never had fluffy hair or anything. But I think since this hairdressing started, people took to this kind of a thing. And it's very disheveled and funny. For a saint, he should be properly dressed. There should be neatness about it. Untidiness is not a sign of a saint. You come and see my house, it's very big. I cannot live with untidiness. If it's temporarily or somewhere, is all right. But if you have to live somewhere, you should be neat and tidy. But it's not so. I've seen people grudging, supposing you go to Brighton. Brighton people say they came here and went away without even putting the beds right. When they come, the same Brighton people, when they come here to London, the London people tell me that they came here, spoiled. You have to change that. On the whole, one has to understand the appearance, the living system is to be systematized. Is to be systematized so that you do not waste your energy in establishing that system which is not so important. And the unsystematic, which is the energy, there's a kind of a system in your life should be there. I mean, I know of Gandhiji, he used to go out for a walk, and people could put their watches right by the time he used to walk, the way he used to come and go around. Of course, you need not be slave of the watches, of course. That's not the point I'm saying. Again, I have to say the other thing because you can go to another. Is that, as in the whole, the Western mind is very self-opinionated. It's very self-opinionated. They don't want to learn anything from anyone. They think they are the best. Like they will go to somebody's house, oh, I don't like it. This is not good. Or even an artist, say, a person who's well educated in art, they have not seen the other world. So them, anything is a big sort of a funny thing. As I told you the other day, when I went to Brighton, these people I talked to Brighton, that in Brighton you have got such a beautiful piece of art where Rajput art and Mughal art is combined together in that royal pavilion outside. Inside, they say, I have not seen inside. But the description of that, when I saw in the tourist book, was that it is bizarre, it's absurd. Any one of them can make even one arch like that, then I can understand. But if you criticize, why? Because you can't do it yourself. Because you can't do it, then it is bizarre. Then it is bad. And this is much more in an English character than anywhere else. They make everybody look very low compared to them. Always. Like some Sahajoginis from abroad. I wanted them to come to England to be married. They said, not in England. You can't live there. Because they all look down on. Italians are frightened of you. If you are Argentinians, they're frightened of you. Spanish are frightened of you. French, they say, we are just the same as they are, you see. Can't. Austrians don't want to come. Because though you may not have vibrations, though you may not be very good at realization, you may not be anything, but you just put on a hat and you become, I say, bit bot. You look down upon everyone, showing them down. It's the best way to exist in this world. Have nothing. Just try to show down a person. You are no good. It's very surprising in Sahaja Yoga people say that about English people, that they don't want to come to England because everyone looks down upon. You have developed a method of looking down upon. But what do you do? What do you have? Let's see. Come to the brass tacks, as they say in America. Let's see. Can you sing as good as that? As that fellow who played the other day? Can you do it? Any one of you in your generations. Can you build Taj Mahal? Leave alone Ajanta. Can you make these rugs? Which Persians can make? What have you shown of your merit that you're boasting of? You cannot make the embroidery, the women here cannot. You cannot cook like us, can you? You cannot even make embroidery like the Spanish. You cannot make furniture like the Italians, can you? What can you do? What is the art you have produced? Constable? Turner? All right, I respect them as artists. Are they the topmost? Are they? Derek, you tell me. You don't think so? All right. It's nice you have given me the. So now what have we achieved so much that we think no end of ourselves? Put a question to yourself, first of all. That we look down upon everyone like that. and think everybody is a stupid fool and you are the only cleverest person. And even in Sahaja Yoga, you do the same thing. It's not only ego, it's the stupidity which tries to show off. So this is the worst thing that has happened to us, to our character, I tell you. We have no humility of any kind. Anybody who does not know the job will always behave like that. We don't know Sahaja, we don't know how to give realization, we cannot understand anything what's happening to another person, but we are great Sahajogis going around. I say with what again? That's the way. It's a serious matter. We have no business to look down upon anybody else but ourselves. What have we achieved? In Sahaja Yoga, I must admit, with all due respect to all of you, all the people, of all the people, Australians are the best. I must say, I'm sorry to say, but it is so. Practically every Australian is much more sensitive, you can say. They were the criminals, sent as criminals, they are the children of the criminals, or whatever you may call them. Then the second are Austrians. French are the last. Agreed? But there's a competition between English and French. Who is the last? They also look down upon everyone, the French. So now for you, I know you're very fond of horse racing, so I'm putting you onto a race. You have to come up, all of you can, because you have the greatest asset which no one has, that you are born in England, where people like William Blake was born. It was Bhairava himself who took birth. He could not take birth anywhere else, but here he took birth. Who described this house, who described my house, who has said everything about Sahaja Yoga. And he said that men of God will become prophets and they will have powers to make other prophets. Have we become prophets now? The powers are not there. You can prophesy. Powers are not there because you're lost in all these frivolous, stupid, nonsensical things. Mantras are not working. Your prophetic powers are not there. Your Kundalini powers are not there. Powers are not working. Weak instrument. Make it all right. Systematize. You have the greatest advantage. I tell you, you have the greatest advantage. And that's why I called this meeting now. I've been to this ashram so many times. I have never been to any such ashram. I've lived here the most of my time. Nowhere in the world I've lived like this. Australia, I've been there only thrice, I think. And now things should not be taken for granted. Of course, spreading of Sahaja Yoga is important, but ascent is also very important. Let us now take a tapasya, a vow of tapasya. Let us do it as a tapasya, as a penance. All of you, whether you are in the ashram or in the house. Those who are in the house are also lost. They don't drink, but they sleep. What's the use? So now let us all take it up as a tapasya. And don't indulge into internal nonsensical politics. There are others who are doing it for you. Don't you worry. Just develop yourself well. And when I'm out of India, dedicate yourself. When I'm away from you, so-called away, dedicate yourself to spread Sahaja Yoga and to ascend. Ascend in a way that constructs the whole universe. Construction. Construction power has to start from. It's a chakra of construction which has to work out through you. Anything that I've said should be taken just as an advice to you for your betterment. Work it out. Just listen to it and forget it. It's a medicine. So please listen to it again and again. Try to follow it in your own life, not in others. Mostly others think, oh, she's talking about somebody else.
I bow to all the seekers of truth. You have been already told about these centers within us, their qualities, and these three channels which constitute them. But one may ask, why all this instrument placed within us? With what purpose? And why evolution has to go further? The reason is you have to now become the spirit. Go beyond your physical, emotional, mental being and become the spirit. Because spirit is the reflection of God Almighty. And spirit is the universal being within you. When you become the spirit, you become a universal being. You become a universal being doesn't mean that you take a certificate that you are a universal being. Not at all. But this state of being an universal being is manifested in you. It is manifested as a innate knowledge within you. As you have innate knowledge of colors now, you know this is this color, this is this color. You see it. In the same way, you become aware of you being a universal being. Means a microcosm becomes the macrocosm. Again I say becomes. It's not just a feeling that you have become. Like a drop becomes the ocean. But again, it's not just a mental understanding, but it is a happening. And this happening takes place, and you become a personality which leaves your boundaries, limitations, and you start seeing yourself as a very loving, affectionate, compassionate personality. When a child is born to a mother, she feels tremendous love for the child. From where does she get this love? It is innately built within her, and her love becomes doubled. Whatever love she had for herself starts flowing towards her child. But when you become a universal being, then your compassion takes a very universal personality. Then you do not think that you are an Australian or you are an Englishman or an Indian. But you just think that we are part and parcel of one universal personality. Now, this feeling sometimes can be confusing. The word is. Feeling means I feel very happy, I feel very unhappy. It's all a mental projection. But it becomes part and parcel of your awareness. This is the point I want to make very clearly to you, that it becomes just an awareness of collective consciousness. Then you can't avoid it, you can't just get rid of it. As you feel for your family. Why do you feel? I mean, some even don't feel that. But most of you feel for your family, for your children, for your wives, for your brothers, sisters, father, mother. So why do you feel for them? Because you have expanded your personality. So you just feel it. But when your personality is that expanded, then the whole world seems to be your family, your relations. Then you do not see a person superficially, skin deep. But you see a person as a part and parcel of your being. Not only that, but as you can feel your own chakras on your fingertips, you can feel the chakras of another person on your fingertips. And then if you know how to correct, you can correct those centers and correct their problems. Today, I'll just deal with one chakra, how when one chakra goes out of order, what happens to us. It's very interesting to find out how we suffer from so many diseases because of one center. This center is the second center of Swadhisthana. Second center of the Swadhisthana is attached to the Nabhi, the third center, and moves around the whole of that green area. It can go to the end, to the periphery, or it can be anywhere. And the duty of this center is mainly to convert the fat cells for the use of the brain. That medical science doesn't know. The other functions are to look after the liver, to look after the pancreas, look after the spleen, the kidneys, and the intestines. So when we start thinking too much, when we become futuristic, we start planning everything. I mean, sometimes people plan so much that you don't know where you are left with that plan. And that planning gives you a terrible mental exertion, and you need more energy for your cells in the brain. So this has to pass, as you see here clearly, it has to pass into your brain, the energy. But when you think too much and plan too much, and if you are successful, then you develop an institution called ego, which is a big yellow bile in your head. That's not only thing. But as you start thinking too much, you neglect all these viscera, all these organs in the viscera. And thus, you have very big problems of health to begin with. Of course, when you neglect your liver, you know, liver is, they say, you will live till your liver will allow. Now, this liver has to clean all the poison from your body. It comes out as heat and is delivered to the bloodstream. But when this is neglected, this poor liver doesn't know how to function without the energy, and all the heat is accumulated in the liver. So a person suffers from liver trouble. Now the symptoms are he gets migraine, he cannot see the sun, then also he gets very hot tempered, irritable, angry, because there is so much of heat. Then this heat passes. I was telling in Canberra, most of the bureaucrats have this problem because they plan too much. And where do we land with that planning? God alone knows. So, then this heat passes upward and downward. So, when it passes downward, it gives you a very bad problem of terrible constipation because the heat constricts your intestine, large intestines. It also coagulates your kidneys, by which you have kidney trouble, you cannot pass your urine. Then you go on the dialysis and you are certified as really dead because you cannot last longer. It's a very expensive treatment, but doctors do not tell you frankly that, oh, you are not going to live. Then this heat can pass upward. And when it goes upward, it goes, say, to your right heart as shown there. As a result of that, you develop asthma. Of course, asthma is connected also with the left side. So when there's triggering done by the left side, then you get this horrible disease called asthma. Then this heat can go upward and can ruin your throat. It can freeze your right arm. It can make your left eye red and also your left ear deaf. But by chance, if such a person is young and using too much physical energy and mental energy, as well as drinking a lot, he can have a very fatal heart attack, a very massive one, and he may die very early in age. You must know that all such attacks at a young age always are fatal. But when you see to the other side is that there is a pancreas which is neglected. As a result of the neglect of the pancreas, you develop a disease called diabetes. Even the mothers who are extremely planning type and thinking type give that disease to their children. And children are born with diabetes. Then you have the third problem with the spleen. This is the most dangerous one. Nowadays, as the life is, we are all time bound, very particular about time. As a result of that, we have become extremely hectic. Supposing you sleep very late in the night, then you have to get up early in the morning somehow get into your clothes and run to the office. Don't even take your breakfast, your wife will give you. So on the way in the car, you are eating your breakfast. And then you read the newspaper. You get a shock of your life because so many horrible things are happening. Newspapers will never give something that is good or is doing well, but something that has gone wrong to give a sensational feeling. It gives you sometimes horrible things. So early in the morning, if you read something horrible, being a human being, you are sometimes shocked. Then you find there is a jam on the way and you get so upset and all your peace is disturbed. Now, this spleen is responsible for creating red blood corpuscles when you are in emergency. You must have seen when you eat your food and you run, you get a pain here. That's because your spleen is trying to pump out new RBCs. Now, to create that, this spleen has to work very hard. But it cannot understand the crazy, hectic personality. Every time it tries to cope with it, it goes crazy. So such a spleen becomes crazy, and ultimately with some triggering on the left-hand side, you develop a horrible disease called as leukemia or blood cancer. Then also your intestinal problems, the pain in the stomach and all that, indigestion, all go hand in hand only because of one center only on the right side. I have not even described the left side center. So if I describe all these, then the whole materia medica will be described. It's like that. So all the permutations and combinations of these centers give you physical problems, then the left side gives you the mental problem. Now, when the Kundalini rises, as I told you, she pierces through these centers and like pearls, the thread passes through different pearls. So the left and right hand are brought together and are nourished, and that's how you feel all right, your health is all right. So when the Kundalini rises and when she touches the spirit, the seat of the spirit here, the flow of the grace also on the sympathetic nervous system relaxes your center and nourishes them. Plus the rising of the Kundalini helps you such a lot. But unless and until you get awakening of your Kundalini and the last breakthrough of the last center, you cannot feel all right. And you have to work it out in a proper way, understandingly, how to cure yourself or how to cure others. You have to also know how to protect yourself. But you definitely become a personality who can cure people, who can cure themselves. I mean, Sahajogis don't go to doctors at all, I have no question. As soon as they get into trouble, they know this burning started. Now, this is it, clear it out. They are the doctors, they get the diagnosis, they know the medicine, finished. So the first thing that happens to us that physically you feel perfect. After that you don't age also. Your age comes down. You don't have wrinkles, you don't have worries. Because all your worries are due to your left side or right side, which is causing you two institutions of ego or superego. Such yogis should now try to understand that they have to grow. Now this growth has to be two-sided. One is yourself. How much time do I spend thinking about Sahaj? And how much about my personal life, my education, my business, my duties, my jobs, my family? Because it is important. As the brain has to think, and Virata is there. So in Sahasrara, how much energy do we use to think about Sahaj? How can we spread Sahaj? What should we do? What should we work it out? How much I should support, in which way? How it can be my every moment living. How I look at everything, I see Sahaj working in it. What is the Sahaj culture? Am I in the Sahaj culture? How much I am impressed by other cultures and fashions and things. And what have I to gain, to grow in my mental capacity to be a Sahaj? For example, a person who is a Sahaj personality, in everything is his Sahaj, in everything, whether it is flowers, carpets, lights, statues, pendant, anything. It sees the Sahaj. How? See now, these pillars are standing at an angle. Just imagine. To support it, how you have to bend on one side. What do we do in Sahaj? We have to bend towards divinity. See, like that, all ideas go moving towards Sahaj. The whole thinking is Sahaj. Such a married life also between husband and wife I have seen. If both are Sahaj, they all the time talk of Sahaj. No frivolous talk, no useless talk, but only about Sahaj. How it is Sahaj to be husband and wife. What is the relationship? That's the most interesting in Sahaj. Like that, you see the everything that you do, you think on Sahaj way. So now then you can judge yourself in this Mahamaya. How far do you care really to think about Sahaj? But all other worries would be like this: how much I will get money out of it, how much business I'll get, how much pleasure I can get, uh, how much physical problems can be solved. All these games are nothing compared to your maturity in Sajoga. But the mind takes over, it starts thinking and thinking, and it goes on wandering on various things. Maybe your wife, your children, your house, this. But if you think in a such way, you think, I should do something that my children should be such. I should make a house which is useful to the Sahaj. I should behave in such a manner that I am such. The maturity in you should grow in such a way that you can feel it. Firstly is the peace. When person is not peaceful, his mind is like a wobbly instrument. He cannot think properly, he cannot see properly, he cannot understand properly. You tell him something, he understands something else. Now the whole world today is wobbly. Whole world. Here, these new party has dismantled the other whole party in politics. It is this one is to be dismantled. Everything is going upside down. That too is through Mahamaya. Another very good aspect of Mahamaya is that she transforms you. Everything is in the brain for human beings. If you are a crook, you are a crook in the brain. If you are a person who hates others, it's all in the brain. If you are addicted to something, it's all in the brain. It's a very complicated conditioning in the head. So this Sahasrara is very important, no doubt. But the power of Irata and Viratangana can only be effective if there is Mahamaya Rupa. And she, in her own sweet ways, opens, dislodges all these conditionings which make you ugly, which make you horrible, which makes you hot tempered, non Yogis. She is the one who really, like the Mother Earth, gives all that she has to make you really very joyous, happy, so that you enjoy Niranand, nothing but Anand, nothing but joy. And this is what is the Sahasrara. But it's only possible when your Brahmarandra is to be opened out. Otherwise, you cannot enter into the subtleties of divine love, compassion, of that ever flowing Mama. From the outside, I have told you what she is. But from inside, when you enter, penetrate into her through the Brahmarandra, then this Mahamaya, which is an incarnation, as you know, of this all pervading power, becomes very different. On one side, she tries to teach you lessons. She tries to destroy that is evil, all that is harmful, all that is destructive. And on the other side, she loves you, protects you, very delicately guides you. Her love is without any expectation. She loves because she cannot help but to love. So, in that love, you are drenched. You enjoy it. Everybody knows that they are close to her, absolutely close to her. Whenever they want, they can always ask her help. Wherever they are supported by her. So, this Sahasrara is very important because through this only we react, through this we accumulate all kinds of nonsense. In the world of this nonsense that we are living, we have to be something like the lotuses who cannot be tarnished, who cannot be affected by all the ills that are going on. This is what is the test, is the pariksha. That at this time, at this difficult time, we can blossom and create fragrance and get so many others to this beautiful atmosphere. It is a kind of a beautiful, playful war, I can say, against what is supposed to be negative. What is the power of this negativity? What is the power of these conditionings? What is the power of the stupidity that anybody can see? So you develop the sight, the vision so clearly, you understand so clearly that you are the ones who are responsible. You are the cells of
शक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। श्री